Well, one of my followers in the Portuguese channel won the right to choose the first review of the year, and he chose that I talked about Robot Chicken, the series that started in 2005 and had how many episodes? Well, let's talk about the first ones. For those who might not know, Robot Chicken was a very successful comedy that started on Adult Swim, created by Seth Green and Matthew Sanry. And basically, we're seeing the two play with dolls through quite competent stop-motion animators. I wouldn't be surprised if every sketch they are involved in started with their more raw version. That is, the guy from Robot Chicken Star Wars, Robot Chicken DC Special, and Robot Chicken, There's a Screw in My Coxinha, making voices while playing with dolls, with Buffalo Bill speaking over the speaker of a McDonald's. Or Howard the Duck, could be him too. The easiest part for me is commenting on the aesthetics. It's puppets. This makes it quite easy to tolerate the limitations. If you stop to notice, the clothes almost never fit well, because they're dolls, but it's hard to notice because the aesthetics of children playing well made makes everything very familiar and comfortable. This also frees the suspension of disbelief for when the limits need to be stretched a little. For instance, when they need to make a dancing Voltron, and due to that, it can't be even close to how mechanical it'd normally be. There's still one or two moments that get your attention more than they should, for instance with liquids or elbows, but it's quite little. And right after, whichever the dummy that got your attention is leaving the scene, so it doesn't make much difference. The difficult part is commenting about the comedy, because it's essentially a sketch show. The choice of topics are clearly varied and imaginative. A sketch about Disney in Cuba is more visually interesting than one with the Teen Titans and Beavis and Butthead. They were also not afraid, at least in these first episodes, to use any topic they thought was funny. Really smart jokes like the one with the doors, funny situations like a play done by kids making it up on the spot, or absurdist jokes that add something absurd to the scenario, like with the clown car. This, of course, doesn't mean everything works all the time. Many jokes here seem to depend a lot on how you're feeling at the time. Some things like Pimp My Sister seem to be a little too long, but not bad per se. Likewise, Beavis and Butthead as a part of Teen Titans is just one joke, so it seems a bit too long too. And there are things that aren't that well known worldwide as they are there, like the very first sketch, which is a parody of an anti-drug commercial that's pretty famous around there. If you know that commercial existed and that it had a second, longer version, it makes a lot more sense. Otherwise, the premise can fall flat easily. It's no different from you seeing Surreal Life and having to know who those people are. On the other hand, in their Armageddon parody, we have both the American public voting on Harrison Ford to be sent, including a repeated movie trailer, because maybe they only think of him as Indiana Jones, and a geek both saying, "Go get him, Han Solo," and "That's just a movie," to Mark Hamill. So, here are some sketches that seem noticeable on these first episodes. We have, of course, the one about the Muppets band's Electric Mayhem, that seems to have been the first behind the music parody, before The Simpsons and Family Guy. Secrets of the Animal World still seems pretty good, vocabulary choice aside. Honestly, I'm with Rick on that one. If you aren't referring to neurodivergent people, it shouldn't be a problem. There's another word my whole generation uses similarly, and no one thinks it refers to Asians or neurodivergent people. The race between various franchises is interesting, but I don't know, everybody's going to remember JC and the Wheeled Warriors or Mask, so maybe due to that, they almost don't speak. The Tooth Fairy visit, I think, would always work. I particularly like their version of The Great Pumpkin, again, way before The Simpsons, and that kept the same vibe Charlie Brown usually has, aside of adapting to be what it is. And the popsicle stick version of Debbie Does Dallas is just funny in itself. Also, some minor moments stay in your memory, like their version of Darth Vader and Luke's conversation, the old people having heart attacks,
Go!
the astronauts falling on the moon, the nerds attacking Schumacher, or similar ideas. So, even if some things aren't going to work for everyone, I'd say it's still pretty fun even today. If you want an adult comedy, but not exactly a mature one, I recommend it.